Welcome to the Skinner Response. President Obama yesterday unveiled his 2012 budget. And the Republicans are already screaming. Imagine that. They don't like the budget. Now get this. The really interesting thing is why they don't like the budget. Remember that the Republicans just won an election because of spending cuts. And now they're saying that the president either hasn't cut enough or they want him to tell the American people what should be cut because they don't want to. I'll explain. All right, so let's start with the beginning. The 2012 budget. What President Obama is saying with this budget is, look, I'm going to cut the deficit from 1.6 trillion. Okay, we have the math. We can do math. To 1.1 trillion. So 1.6 to 1.1 means he's actually cutting the deficit by next year, right? Mostly from discretionary spending that he can. They have said, the Budget Office, that the larger cuts in later years have to do with the entitlement programs, Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid, and that they want to sit down with the Republicans and come to some agreement on those costs. That's where the Republicans don't want to do this. They decried that the president and the Budget Office didn't come out with how they're going to cut Social Security. We got elected on cutting spending, but we want you to deliver the news to the American public, in other words. The president is saying, let's do what Ronald Reagan and Tip O'Neill did, sit down and fix the long-term deficit. But he has come to the table, 14,000 buildings gone, lots of programs, 400 gone, discretionary spending frozen, tax loopholes for the oil companies gone. Now, here's the analogy that you need to use when you're talking to your friends. And they say, he's spending. That's not investment, that's spending. Not all spending is the same, right? We know that. Here's how you explain it to folks. Let's say you need to spend $200 on your automobile so that it will work again, so that you could get to your $20,000 job. Here's a pop quiz, actually. Do you say, A, no, $200 is spending. Spending is bad. Not gonna do it. Do you say B? Yes, I will spend that $200 so that I can get to my $20,000 job. Or C, do you say, yes, I'll spend the $200 to get to that $20,000 job, but I'm gonna spend $200 on a computer course so I can get a $40,000 job? It's a bit of a trick question. The answer, B and C. Now, why B? Because that's what the president had to do to spend to get our economy back on track. Remember, it was the worst recession since the Great Depression. So to keep GDP at the same levels that we were at to recover, i.e., he had to spend the $200. We had to spend the trillion. We had to do the Recovery Act. Now we're starting to level out. Things are good. So he's cutting what he can. He's not souping up this car, okay? He's not putting lights on the wheels and putting bass sound on this. No, he's repairing it and investing in the economy of the future so that we can grow our GDP. Now, why is that important? You have to make investments. His investments are in education, in innovation, in green technologies. These are the things that are going to grow our economy. We cannot compete if it's just cheap labor, folks, okay? So when we talk about a global environment, unless you're willing to have your living standard reduced to the developing world, then we can't compete. But what we can do as Americans is what we've always done: invent, innovate, move from one energy source to another, as we did from wood to coal to oil to natural gas. Now we're just moving from fossil fuels to solar, hydrogen, and a whole host of geothermal, all these technologies, energy efficient technologies out there, so that we are the best in the world, that we outsell the Germans and the Japanese and the Chinese in these technologies, that we educate our students so they can continue to use all kinds of different advances in every single field to lead the way. That's our investment in a better future, in a better job, in a more stable situation, so we don't have to worry about spending. We've grown our way out. We're living a great living standard, and we're sharing this technology with the rest of the world to make it a better place. So a simple, dumb analogy that I like to use, but when we're talking about the 2012 budget, it's a good one to keep in your back pocket when the Republicans say all spending is the same. It certainly is not. Thanks for listening to The Skinner Response. Have a great day.